Hello again, everybody. Welcome to our OCVarsity predictions program. Thanks, Steve Fryer here with Dan Albano, looking at this week's games. Dan, it is week is it the sixth week of football? Even though we call it week 5, or is it the seventh week? We call it week 4.
I think we're going week 5.
Whatever. But anyway, it's been like 6 weeks of football. I don't know why we even call it week 0. Anyway, even though a lot of teams are taking their byes this week, including all the Trinity League guys. What happens is they play 5 games, take a bye, they play 5 league games. Pretty good idea. We still got some killer games on the schedule.
I know. I think it's an underrated week. They got some sneaky good games.
Yeah, and some fun ones and some tough ones to pick too, and which we're going to do here, well, like we always do.
That's what I love about OC football. It's so competitive out there.
Yeah.
Even when the Trinity League's off, there's some good competition out there across the county.
Sonora at Aliso, Niguel. It's a Thursday game. Sonora's off to a really good start. Good job, Coach Daniel Morales over there for getting getting the Raiders in the win column quite a bit this year. But I like Aliso Niguel. I just think they've got a little more offensive ammo, and they'll win that game.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally disagree. And the first game of the week, there's not going to be complete agreement this week. So I'm picking the Raiders. I saw them last week against Bolsa. I think they're a pretty talented team. I really liked Shigozi as Edison at corner. I think he's going to have a really good showdown with Tyler Jones.
Yeah.
And they got 2 good running backs at Sonora, so I think they can play a lot better and cleaner than they did against Bolsa. And I think they can go down there and get the win. 0-10 to 5-0 would be something else for the Raiders.
Also on Thursday, and this to me was a coin flip game. I couldn't decide. Ocean View University. I think University, they might be the second or third best team in the Pacific Coast League. To me, that means a lot. I went with Uni on this game. Like that Golden West League an awful lot, very competitive, but I went with Uni.
Yeah, we disagree on this one as well.
Oh, this is excellent.
I'm picking Ocean View Seahawks. You could tell last week they wanted that game so bad against Catella. That would have been so huge on the road. Just came up short. I think they're going to be hungry. They got it's a big challenge for Ocean View. They've got to think about playing, every week in the Golden West League. They're going to have pretty much a tough game.
And they're going to play really good offenses every gosh darn week in that league with Orange and Segerstrom, etc.
And Uni's coming off. They've beaten 2 consecutive 0-4 teams.
Yeah.
So I think this is, and then Uni's got some injuries that are a little problematic. So, I checked in with Coach Nunez. He expects a close game again. So we'll see but I think the Seahawks are going to get this hard-fought victory.
Tesoro, Los Sal at Veteran Stadium. Are you going to be there? I
am not.
Okay.
But we are going to be, OCVarsity is going to be there, and I think it has potential to be a pretty good game. I saw, I'm picking Los Al in this game. I think they're pretty. I think they should be pretty desperate for a quality victory, and but it's not going to come easy. I think Tesoro will play well. They're coming off a good victory against Lucerne.
I went with Los Al, better athletes. On to the Friday games. Modena, Yorba. Ooh, tough one here. Yorba is on their third-string quarterback or something, but I like AJ Esperanza at Modena, and I sort of like that whole spirit that I'm sensing out of Elmo football, so I'm going with Modena.
Yeah, I was impressed they played so close against Villa Park last week. That showed me a lot. And AJ Esperanza played so well. 4 TDs, no interceptions. He's having a great year, and the quarterback matchup really favors El Modena, but I can see Yorba and Coach Bailey, who likes to play physical, and it's got good running back in Jaden Webb. I think I could see him, and they have two good running backs. I could see them really trying to ground it and keep Esperanza and company off the field. But I'm picking Elmo.
Capistrano Valley, Cypress at Western High. I've seen Cypress play. I like Ashcraft, the quarterback, a lot. Haven't seen Capo yet, but I know Manning's pretty good, and I think he's got a good assortment of weapons to help him out, and Capo wins this game.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cougars as well.
Okay.
This is the first real test for Cypress to see how good they are. They did beat Woodbridge in the season opener. I don't think they played anybody that tough lately, so I'm looking forward to seeing how competitive Centurions are and what that might mean for the Empire League.
Godinez versus Orange at Fred Kelly Stadium / El Modena High School. I like Orange in this game. Godinez, I thought they were going to give Segerstrom a better showing than they did, and so I'm going with Orange and the Panthers in this one.
Yeah, this one I definitely checked into this game as well. I also picked the Panthers. I think they, with Wilkinson at at quarterback. They just seem to have a little bit more threats with Cyrus Collins. They don't just have one good receiver. They have Cyrus and they have Jordan Schmidt. And this was a great game last year. Do you remember this game last year? It was.
I could barely remember yesterday, Dan.
It was Orange. I think they won 3-0 in overtime.
Yeah, that's right.
It was
that game.
Yeah. So this was a good game. I think there'll be more points this year. This year, but I'm picking Orange.
Hey, here's a game that's going to have a lot of points. Century and La Quinta, and I'm going with La Quinta this one. I like the quarterback, Michael Nadeau.
Yeah.
And I saw them play, and I just like the style of that team, La Quinta. I like those Aztecs.
Yeah, and you saw La Quinta, and he's a physical guy, right? And
he is. He's a low
man. He runs it, and
Century like could tell in his fashion.
Yeah, and Century is running the double wing and having a lot of success, and they're 4-0. Look, both these teams are 4-0. Can you believe that? What an unlikely 4-0 clash. So I wrote about Century a couple weeks ago, but I think La Quinta's my pick for this game. But I'm interested to see how competitive this game is. La Quinta's got Garden Grove coming up. I think
Can't
next
look past
week.
these Century guys.
So this is a good tune-up for both teams.
Edison at San Clemente. I'm going with the Tritons. I just think that program. There are teams, there are programs, and both these guys are programs, right? San Clemente, man, I really like the way they're going. Edison, Connor's throwing a few interceptions. I don't think it's his fault. I think maybe the offensive line just didn't give him time to operate. So I'm going with San Clemente.
Yeah, I also picked San Clemente, but I wrestled with this game as well because I think I'm big on Griffin O'Connor.
Yeah.
And I know he's been sick, and I think I'm big on Edison. I think they're gonna They're gonna show up at San Clemente with a chip on their shoulder. I think they're looking for a breakout game. They, they haven't had it. I think the wheels are turning really fast at Edison, where they didn't play much defense in that first game against Tesoro. Now they're coming off back-to-back shutouts. San Clemente, I think Griffin's going to come down there. He's going to be taking on Costello, who's playing so well for San Clemente. Griffin's going to want to show that he's the top senior kind of quarterback. But San Clemente's defense is playing well.
Yeah.
So I picked the Tritons, but I really wrestled with this game. And I wasn't that impressed with what the Tritons did last week against Palos Verdes. No points in the first half, 14-0. I know Costello played really well, and the defense played well, but
so you're picking Edison then?
I'm picking San Clemente. I'm picking San Clemente. I think it sets up well for him a little bit better, but it's going to be a very close game.
El Toro at Mission Viejo. El Toro, I like Cooper Jones, great assortment of receivers, but Mission Viejo, dudes all over the field, Mission wins.
Yeah, I like the Diablos. Not much to say, I think, as far as, just that, I think the thing for...
I thought you said there's not much to say.
Well, I know. But the other thing is that, you look at their last 3 weeks, it's been pretty brutal schedule for Mission to play at La Habra, play Long Beach Poly on the road, and they're pretty, then they're at Trabuco playing a tough Santa Margarita team. I mean, how many more weeks for a, relatively team that's worried about their depth? That, and a letdown after 3 big weeks, but I think maybe it's a little bit surprisingly close on Veterans Night, so congrats to the Diablos, what they do for the veterans.
Marina, Whittier Christian at Whittier College. I kind of went back and forth this. I like Quinn Commons, the quarterback at Whittier Christian, who's got all kinds of fancy numbers. But I went with Marina. I just think they're more solid across the board, especially in the interior line.
Yeah, I also really, went for, this game really had me do some homework. What's interesting on this game is that Marina's actually coming off the bye. And they're coming off a loss against Santa Ana, who's pretty good. But they got their own quarterback, Ian Green, who's good dual threat quarterback. Quinn Commons, I think, has got to definitely have the Vikings' attention. They've won 3 in a row, and he's got on the season 16 TDs and 0 interceptions. And the last 2 weeks, Quinn's probably thrown for about 800 or 900 yards. He's been on fire, and he's running it a little bit too. So this is going to be a big test. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I'm picking Marina.
2 teams desperate for a win. Esperanza against Foothill at Chestnut High School. I think Foothill gets off the schneid or whatever, how do you pronounce that word?
Yeah.
Foothill, the Knights finally get a W.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Fryer. Foothill's been close. They lost a game in overtime to start the year to Tascadero. They were pretty close against Brea, right? It was about a 4 or 5 point game. They've been a little bit more competitive than Esperanza so far. So I think the Knights get their first win.
All
so
right.
we disagree on those first 2 games. I got the Raiders and the Seahawks.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll have all of our picks and everything posted here at OCVarsity, part of OCRegister.com. And certainly you can follow along to see how right I was and how wrong Dan Albano was. Thanks for checking with us.